What happens when you stick 60 plus ARK creators on the same map, or set to complete one goal to command the best tribe tower by decorating it with as many unique trophies and artifacts as possible? Which means not only will we need to work our way through to beating the main 3 titans at least 4 times each, as well as amassing an army and prepare to beat King Titan in its Gamma, Beta and Alpha variants, whilst looking to form alliances to help us, but with Club ARK clustered we'll need to beat a lot of minigame missions to spin and try to win every artifact, as well as try to win as many of the weekly battle rig races as possible, each awarding one otherwise unobtainable trophy to the top 3 positions. But first, we'll get introduced to each other before being rudely interrupted by Extinction's main antagonist, wiping everyone out to begin a fresh start as the level 1 bobs we all begin our ARK journeys with. After a few boxing rounds with a tree, we bumped into our first player, helping to cook some meat before a quick fist fight to end an awkward goodbye and attempt to run naked through the wasteland to a safer location. Inevitable death being inevitable, we opted to just spawn into the sunken forest, and after a few raptors tearing our face off, we navigated a windy path to claim our base location. Being in the sunken forest gave us some quick access to local derpy gachas to tame before running into our first neighbour who needed help, but then swam away quicker than we could decide to leave our new gacha. Dunno. But with no time to hang out, we threw up a thatch hut, decorated it with some snazzy Wasteland War skins, and set off for a mate pair of gachas for some early poly oil and pearls. So, with gachas done, we needed a gacha crystal collector, and with Pegos able to do just that now, set off to find one, taming a handy farming Moschops and a Parasaur to have at least one saddled steed, and maybe just in time, as no sooner as we had upgraded our modest 2x2 to stone and whipped out some metal tools, the Moschops died, boo. So before we could lose the Parasaur too, set out to find another ride, before losing that Parasaur to a Therizino and then run into a infinite loop of sleepy death to a gang of Trudons. But hey, a new Parasaur tamed, we ran into a 150 Diplo, and despite the 1 hour it took to tame, bagged ourselves a tanky berry farmer and its younger sibling. So it was off to travel back to the sanctuary, riding our new bus and dressed in ghillie to battle the elements, where we'd run into my little bro and a few other survivors to see how their base progress was going too. Taming ourselves a level 5 doggo with some broken taming mechanic and a dung beetle for precious poop crazeling, we ran into Pulse, offering a lift back to base, and found a much better doggo to pet that dog instead, before setting off to find a frog for paste farming, running into some Megalania en route and forgetting the subtle taste of rabies being inflicted when touching one. Because rabies. But with a Beezle Buffo tamed and ready for paste, we ran into Torst, who offered a Diplo bus tour of Extinction, which I'm sure he may have regretted, maybe owed to the knock-door run with a red OSD, or maybe the John Cena one-shot swoop of an aggressive corrupted rock drake that hit him in the face.
Oh my god! I know! Oh, I know! I gotta go back and help him.
Sorry, Toast. Back to base, our conveniently weighty Diplo helped us handpick a wealth of metal, as well as mate with our newly grown Diplo baby to pop out some chunky fertilized eggs and go use them to tame ourselves an automated egg collecting Oviraptor. And with kibble needed to prepare for taming better tames, set up a modest greenhouse to house all 4 different seeds, taking a whole hour to farm. Next up was to get a flyer, but remembering we're on Extinction, opted to go for the less conventional flyer with some other tricks up its sleeve and hunt down a gas bags to tame. So, trap 1 sucked gas bags bladders, but thought maybe frog taming and chasing one would work. It didn't, because ARK is ARK, so set off for another using a recent well-versed Captain Fat Dog trap special. It flopped. We died and resorted to our trusty Diplo bus, losing our frog and running into hellfire raining down from a corrupted wyvern. So in some desperation, quickly tamed the first raptor we could in some daring rescue mission, narrowly avoiding death, and somehow ARK smiled upon us and saved the Diplo. So back off to Sanctuary to tame a new frog, and pow, a big chunky 140 found and a mate pair to go with it, leaving us a quick wander into the desert mini arc to stumble upon the race course we'd be preparing for every week, nabbing some plant Y seeds to take back home and prepare yet again to tame a gas bags. And after pain, and more pain trapping one, finally we got a bag in the bag, until ARK reared its ugly head once more and threw a corrupted Dilo at us just as it was about to be knocked out. Thanks for that. But too much invested, we'd have to accept what we got and go looking for an Ankylo for our metal farming, taming a really high melee Anky next to Wolf's base before realising we left our doggo back at the gas bag's trap and needed to save it. But finally we could blow ourselves gently through the wind on our new bloaty steed and prepare to work towards the races to come. With no time to spare, we woke up to a Dilo Dodo present from Solo. Dunno why, slapped a fridge and hitching post down before farming paste from Meganora with our tongue action frogs. Ribbit. The ARK gods smiled upon us with a queen bee spawn literally on our doorstep. Nice. So tamed that and slapped a sap tap in a tree to prepare us for veggie cake making later. Travelling back out to the wider world, we bumped into our little bro to get jiggy with our gas bags and sharted back to base to make veggie cake. With special cake in hand, we knocked out a snail with a gift horse for some perma paste and set off to snow to find ourselves arguably Extinction's most favourite creature, before bumping into a welcoming party of sheep to tame and running into Mana and a Giga, who found me a whopping 145 owl, which turned out to be a bit of a taming freehand, so resorted to trapping a breed pair to make it a heck of a lot easier. But back at base, we set up our new owls to boost gacha crystal production for some early game loot, finding a slightly better gacha and test taming with plant Y. Turns out that's the best taming resource, by the way, so you should use that. And after a quick pelt farm from a stampede of mammoths, we set up a gardener for some slight automation, crafted some kibble, and set out looking for a Doedicurus, not before jumping into H, who told us an alliance was rising and messing with survivors, so we dashed plans to go looking for them, bear trapping one of them and finding the HOA discussing their plans before they saw us, knocked out H, and we had to rescue him with a frog. And we did. We knocked them all out. It was fun. With a Dode done and tamed, it was back to base to make a mega lab, and with some element dust needed to craft element-infused gasoline, headed back to Sanctuary to farm lampposts and benches with our recently tamed Dode for lots and lots of dust, and headed back to the desert cave to farm poly. Running into a wall of golems at the entrance with Willy popping out being chased by them, we used a chainsaw to farm bucket loads of poly, completing our mats needed to make our very own battle rig garage. But determined to prove I could fit everything possible into a 4x4 base, we got crystal cracking for loot and pimped our first ride. Drove that all the way to Sanctuary, running into a decent level Gigantoraptor, so tamed that with our trusted Diplo eggs. Out in our battle rig, it was time to form our own alliance as we grimaced through the jank to find Aaron Aztec, hello mate, take him for a spin, run into more jank and recruit both him and Meridian Prime into the Bushwhackers. That was our name, because we whack bushes. And seeing we had the mats now, needed to throw up a tribe tower to adorn our planned trophies and artifacts on. But turns out living in a kind of cave meant we need to be creative on where we could place it, so needed some blue crystals to make a cliff platform, so went looking for those, bumping into H and Dave en route. But with gems collected and a cliff plat crafted, we could finally set our tribe tower down before turning towards our first attempt at Extinction's version of drops, namely orbital supply drops, which turned out to be much easier than expected on Gamma difficulty, rewarding us at least a better rig engine for our rides. So upgraded that and bumped into Pulse, who threw out a cryo-sick owl, sucks for you, so offered a lift back to base whilst recruiting him into the Bushwhackers, running into Canway to recruit in 2 whilst farming Apex items from dinos to fuel our tribe tower. With a quick run into Captain Fat Dog, who we invited into the Alliance too, though we'd later find out he'd abandoned that to set up another. We crafted a quality enforcer and tested how good they really were against corrupted in another version of Extinction's Horde modes, but this one rewarding a good chunk of element to set us off. So, finally deciding to build a proper base, we began to build a not-so-proper base and layered down the foundations to prepare a sort of marooned ship build, and with gachas breeding, bagged ourselves the 1% holy grail with an element dust gacha popping out. Showing off our new jump pad to get our gas bags out easy and testing it out on H, we crafted a bunch of superior kibble and headed out to find a snappy happy Dinosuchus, which will turn out to be the best dino investment in this entire playthrough, you'll find out. Before catching some of those dirty HOAs having a meeting, popping into the desert cave to attempt to tame Dinosuchus there with no joy but a few decent bits of drop loot, so headed back to Snow to get busy killing spawn after spawn until we bagged a surprisingly really good rock for a level 110. But we'd take a quick break on our croc hunt for our first major event of the season, racing our battle rig against everyone else's to try and win one of those unique trophies, and well, it didn't go exactly as planned.
Oh! God, it's off! It's off! It's off! Go! 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 What the? Oh my God! What is this speed? Move, move, move! Come on, come on! Get some speed on it, dude! Sliding car there! Come on, kids! Slow and steady wins the race. It's not. It's about just chilling. Not that. I just clipped someone's head. Put the music on, man. What are we doing? Go. Oh, you donkey! Why am I'm getting left for dust? What the smashy car is that? Oh my God! That's it. Welcome to ARK. What? I gotta do a pit stop. I gotta do a pit stop. Oh, bro, not now. Not now. Come on. Sounds. Oh, I need the gasoline. I need the gasoline. I've lost the die. Don't turn! Oh! Right at the ends! Oh, nice! Oh, was that third place? Yo! One, two. Ah, no, there's people got here way before us.
So after shooting Vino for trying to taxidermy me, headed back to the Dinosuchus grind to bag a 120 and headed back to base to bump into Solo, who we made a deal with to trade a gacha for a much better Dean. Captain Fat Dog popped round for a quick look at the base for his build seal of approval, and we set off to Snow Cave to prove how useful a gas bags could be against Palovias and how easy to travel through it would be to farm loot, only to get hit by some seriously crap latency and lose the gas bugs, needing us to dive back in on foot and attempt to get our gear back and take a breather whilst we waited for the latency to pass over. Which it did, and by some miracle we got out with a rally of friends waiting at the door. But word had gotten around the tinkering desk, used to gamble blueprints, could be kind of exploited to use scouts to boost anything, so we got busy farming a lot of scouts to make a pretty crazy level enforcer and use that to run an alpha orbital supply drop with Solo at relative ease, and it really was easy. No mech BPs were rewarded to sadly attempt to gamble too, but some decent car parts in hand and a brand new Dean gifted to us from Solo, so left them breeding whilst we decided to recruit an unlikely fellowship and head over to Club ARK to attempt to win a Cosmo, which we didn't, and so we was back home to gamble and lose at getting a high level enforcer and run another red OSD with Solo and Dave this time to finally nab a mech BP and hit the required levels to make an industrial forge for quicker metal smelting and a grinder to test killing creatures into making kibble. With some luck, but with some newfound knowledge, we'd need Utis to make the best kibble, so it was off to the snow. Bumping into Pulse, who told me he found a decent level, helped us out taming one whilst revealing he managed to get himself a Cosmo just recently in Club ARK, so, you know, we had to negotiate a deal to offer my Crocs for his Cosmo and went looking for a mate pair of Utis, finding a 150 Yankee along the way. And farming a few more Scout BPs, we gave that gamble one last shot before we'd find out it would be patched to make a max level enforcer. hot diggity damn. Slipping into our Spooderras alter ego for a swing around the city, we got busy working on high-level Deans, or Dinos, however you want to pronounce it in the short version, adding a few more touches to our work-in-progress boat-based build and slapped some car cosmetics on our ride before testing our brand new Monster Enforcer against corrupted creatures, which hit like a truck. So got leveling that, attempting to through an OSD and a flopped cryosick owl, and thankfully Mana came to help with that and went hunting for another with him, almost losing both our Enforcer and his Karka, but gunning for another with the Bushwhacker Avenger army, bagging another mech BP and losing it to a tinkering desk gamble fail. This is what you get for gambling, kids. But leveling up enough now allowed us to unlock the Zeppelin, which we'd find out would make the perfect taming platform to pick up a Dreadnoughtus and fly over to an element vein with ease. Not the greatest level, but bizarrely the easiest tame ever. It really is. So used that giant long neck beast to test against others, realizing we needed some much more stronger dreads. So after a gas bags protecting OSD and a sussy loot stolen OSD, I'm sure somebody stole some of the resources out of that. I'm watching you. Taking some time to blow a knocked out Zero into the water and failing to learn how to perfect tame a doggo, went looking for another dread, or the other dread, finding a 140 dreadmare that we just about killed through all the dirty ping, and waited till the next nightfall to attempt to tame from its dropped summoning altar. And sure enough, requested the rarest thing on the map we didn't own, a Carno arm, butchering the taming process just a little, backing us though a flying crowing nightmare horse. Nay. With the boat-based progress now just awaiting tech to unlock, we headed out pushing for the highest level dino possible for a head start requirement for the next rig race, farming corrupted Rexes with our Dinosuchus and discovering how powerful its bite really is. So after a quick help using it for another OSD, met up with everyone for a naked race at the Forest Titan cave, which went as well as you'd expect, and my gas bag stepped on a bee, so opted to start trying out the Dreadmare, accidentally uncryoing our high-level Croc and needing to use a battle rig to pull it all the way back to base, getting hit by Ninja's X-Plants en route and learn how to use the baby function to cheese imprinting on our Dread. After testing out our Croc on big dreads to farm, spawning in better levels, we tested out how to glide our small dreads, spawn farming them too for better levels, and ran into our bro at base who took an arrow to the head, and told about a 140 gacha that we failed to tame before the daily restart and lost to a dino wipe. So it was off to our next race, suffering a vanishing rig, leaving very little time to quickly make a new one, which turned out to be a waste as we'd fall through the mesh mid-race and take the L, so went looking for a new creature. Finding a 140 Dreadmare, but needing to wait till night, we tested a rumour on how to force Giga and Karkar spawns around the snow biome, which turned out to be true. But rewarding no decent levels yet, headed back to the Dreadmare to kill for its altar before returning back to the Giga Karkar farm. Finally, a Tech Giga. Okay, not a great level, but still is a Tech Giga, right? You gotta tame it, which of course we did. Ran back to base ready for nighttime and a Dreadmare to summon, and Dame bagging the Black Beauty and noticing a certain Boomsmith had booby-trapped our base. So we set off for revenge by riding over on a hot air balloon, knocking him out and skyhooking him out of his base. Hey, Batman. Back to base, running into more bear traps. Thanks, we used the Mega Lab to imprint our Tech Giga and began the long grind again to force spawn a Karka, rewarding us a monster melee 140, which we used an Otter's natural incubation to hatch some Diplos and tame pretty easy, bagging another 140 straight after that, and just needing a male to get the stats of the females together, which we'd find after 12 females in a row. Running into Benito, who wanted to join Bushwhackers, but seemingly was a bit sussy about it all, not sure what was going on there. And with Karka's breeding now, it was time to turn towards a decent saddle, going through our treasure map loot with no luck, but rewarding us a monstrous Dinosuchus saddle, and no luck in artifact caves either. So maybe Club ARK, where Antonio from the HOA made us a deal to trade us all of his Club ARK points in exchange for a Cosmo, as we were about to get breeding with One Eye Lewis to start popping them out in the bucket load, and it paid off. We got the Karka saddle and got testing our new monster to realise this would be all we ever needed to solo OSDs ourselves. Or solo anything at all, as we found storming the forest cave with a Karka an absolute cakewalk, backing ourselves an artifact finally, and begin raising an army to breed out the best possible blood rage beast we could, as well as Cosmos, allowing us to be Spooderars without worry now. But after the news of more HOA members tormenting even more survivors, it was time for a bushwhacker meeting as we set up a nice cozy round table and sent invites out to our alliance, whilst digging for more treasure and running more artifact caves to prove the value of our gas bags once again. Testing our imprinted Karka on a hard OSD taught us how easy even one solo mount could do the job, and with a push to hunt for tier 3 traits for our Dino Sucus, but it turned out a recent patch to the server completely broke and reset dedicated storage boxes, leading the whole server to close down and await a patch to fix, but allowing us ample time to link up with Cap, H and Lance to get farming missions on Club ARK and spin for a wealth of artifacts needed for our tower. And with the server back up and a giant rollback, losing the recent traits we had just gotten, we jumped back on the level 3 trait grind again, finding enough to make our Crocs Titan Killers and enough level 3 traits to complete the week's assignment for a head start in the next race, which we found out we could slap straight into our strongest Dino Sucus by using the Mega Lab to babyfy it and hit it to 95% and doing a little cheesy thing with cyber structures and the nanny, so re-leveled our scaly steed and set off to fight our first Titan. With our newfound knowledge of Snappy Crocs being Titan Devastators and trophies to add to our tribe tower and tech unlocks finally in hand, we could finally move into the boat base, before noticing a sign from a new alliance accompanied with a well-placed bear trap. Using the broken powers of Cyber Structures Blueprint Maker, the final pieces of the Bushwhackers HQ came together, needing more metal to finish, and tested grinding tree platforms rewarded from gachas versus destroying them for some easy mats. But either way, enough to make our super mega forge boat engine, and with even more metal needed, ran a few node runs and a red OSD to accompany some free metal as well as some new car parts. Perfect preparation for a rig race, and smelted ingots to make a clock library, gene storage container, embryo incubator and replicator left us just shy on an element for a generator, so it was off to complete an element vein, and hearing mantis are meant to be great for those hunted rhinos for rhino horns, and headed to the desert cave, bumping into Dave attempting a new interesting take on the desert titan himself, but it turns out that mantis taming had been patched out the game, so turning to other farming boost ideas, discovered a weapon trait that improves anything it's applied to, including metal picks. So, with a plan ahead, went looking for a throbbing vein, hearing en route a gas bags race was happening, and putting our money where our mouth was, attended and embarrassed ourselves. I'm still blaming the ping though. Defending it with ease on the back of a Karka and drinking a mind wipe to boost melee even more rewarded us over 1k element and enough to carry us through the season, as well as make the final structures needed to piece together our marooned haven, throwing up a greenhouse and one last plan for the day to fight the forest titan. But somebody had beaten us to it, so we just flung Spooderars in a Hail Mary at the titan's face. With a new dawn and a forest titan to face, we finished our tribute item hunting with a run into Crisp Nugget, who may have regretted trolling us under our car, naughty, and pitched our croc against Big Old Groot. Tech teleporter now unlocked, tied up a nice way to get on and off the boat, and with a little finger to pick up having a gacha set up producing our more thirstier resources, left us waiting for crystals to be collected and reminded ourselves what had just happened the night before, because it turned out the ANA, they popped round as an uprising alliance looking to steal spyglasses and tried to steal one from me, but little did they know Laggedy Spooderars does what a Laggedy Spooderars does. Cracking our monopoly of gacha crystals, creating thousands of metal to smelt in a clock-boosted super forge, set us off to hunting another OSD for more car parts, and well, it didn't really got a plan, and time was up as the next race was on. Oh, here we go! I'm rough. Oh my god.
And I said I didn't want to do it, but I've got to do it on this other night. Oh. I'm honestly, I'm bricking it. I'm shaking. This isn't good. I swear I just took first base then. I'm just taking it nice and easy. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm shaking! Are we first? Are we first? Are we first? Oh, we're not. There's 2 cars there.
And the head start we earned helped us push to our first race win, bagging second place and our first unique Tribe Tower trophy, though I don't think my brother was too happy about it. Well overdue, we finally held our Bushwhacker meeting to share stories of attacks from the 2 alliances and decided after a blood sacrifice to hunt everyone for their skins and display exactly who was in which faction, tasking each with a list of survivors and our first target being our Polovia trolling ANA jumping friend Benito. A lucky door opening mistake left a curious Spooderas to recon a bit more personally than expected, hiding under his bed as we watched him go about setting up his next trolling ploy, and realising we could be waiting a while to strike, found a less than conspicuous hiding spot for a sleeping bag and teleported out. Grabbing the tools needed for an early sleep to attempt to travel over with our dogger companion, ran into a spot of luck, seeing Benito die before our very eyes, and with a nightmare of working on crafting climbing picks, finally got us into his base and tore the skin off his lifeless corpse to take back home, but not before desecrating his flags to even the trolling visits, 2 for 2. But I guess he somehow knew, or another ANA member got fed up trying to catch me awake as we woke up the next day with a blown-in base and a replacement Spyglass, so we need to expand the Bushwhackers, and heard Ninja was fighting the King Titan right in that moment and thought it would be cool if we tried to swing the entire way there as Spooderas, right? I mean, it was, but Ninja's dreads weren't too happy about it. Anyway, with another race head start mission for this week, we needed to own the highest level doggo possible, and with Taming broken, which we'd find out later would be patched, developed a cunning plan to use Gigantoraptors to tame baby doggos. Trouble is, you need all 88 levels in a Gigantoraptor to get 100% taming effectiveness, so a lot of leveling was ahead of us, first running wild Spinos with some Explorer Note boosts and then killing our unwanted Carker babies, but we needed more. So thinking of an idea, ran into H at base who explained the HOA had hit him again, good grief, and sent him off to hunt some skins to collect too. Back on the Gigantoraptor doggo taming plan, we learned it wasn't going to be easy as we hoped, if it wasn't already hard enough, because we found the baby doggos disappear if they're left as the last one in the pack. So good times all round there, and ran back into H to discover the HOA were pushing it even further and holding survivors hostage in prison. So whipped back on our Spooderas alter ego and stealthed it in to rescue an unfortunate Aphias, who later thanked us by joining the Bushwhacker cause. Seeing as we had an army of Bushwhackers to ask for favours now, ran around to pull in a small army of baby Carkers from Boomsmith and Gigas from Pulse, and just enough to push us up to 79 levels. But not quite at the mark, but enough time spent levelling we went testing to see if the effort would pay off. And well, it turns out there's a whole other math of using a tamed Gigantoraptor versus a born and bred one, so just accepted maybe it wasn't really worth the effort, and considered maybe we just kibble tame as well and see what stats we can match together. So back to base to grind Uties into kibble, but little did we know Benito would be there waiting to troll us once again, but this time with a flock of seagulls, and well, flying carnage managed to just about shake him off. With a new Otter and Gigantoraptor tamed for a mate buff running into Mana Gaming to invite him into the Alliance too, we killed a few more baby Carkers to push up just one more level, and just enough to prove baby taming was kind of worth the effort, showing off the boosted parental buffs to a helpful Bitmore Dave, who seemed to suggest might have been causing our lag issues this entire time. But we quickly forgot about that to finally find a high level doggo baby and pack together to breed over the next few days. Back out on the hunt, we'd finally find a high-level Dreadnoughtus, and using the surprisingly still working Zeppelin trick, carried it to an alpha element vein to officially tame with the help of XS, finding a decent mate pair right next to it, which we carried to another element vein, but then crashed and lost the element vein. The Dread we lost as well because the server just restarted and we had a dino wipe with the restart, so that was a bit of a L there. So back to the doggo breeding, needing a degree in maths to figure out which stats we're gonna breed with each to get the ultimate doggo as quickly as possible, finding another dirty ANA sign to blow and forgetting we already had a tamed Dreadnoughtus, so use that to breed with our new monster. And with one Titan left to face of the introductory Guardian, set off on our Spooder swing through the Ice Cave to meet a Titan, at least having some Falcon Punch defences against our bone-crunching Croc, and with all tech unlocked now, set off to find and kill more Titans to try and complete a full tech suit set. Back to base to store everything rewarded, discovered some spies at base, who we managed to just about chase off, and an invite to an interestingly looking bar opening, and after our Dermis skin stock take being built up, insta-smelted our gacha metal, mind-wiped into crafting skill, and made our super expensive tech gear, using our craft skill as well to make a few custom recipes with element dust too. Finally, a flying tech man, we set out to look for revenge against our regular trolls, but with no one home, learned a trick to use a cyberstructures aggregator to instantly pluck Gigantoraptor feathers, being a huge help for this doggo breeding, so set out hunting any Gigantoraptors we could collect that had its highest stat in each for each type of feather, and in continuing to hunt them, found a giant hole beyond the mesh hiding behind most of our feathered friends, and afraid to explore further, accepted what we found to keep the doggo breeding ever ongoing. On a new dawn, word had got around a new mission had arrived to Club ARK, so headed over to discover a thrilling nod to Halo, as well as the 5% chance of winning a unique rock elemental. So keen to return, we headed home to complete our doggo stats finally, and with time ticking and levels needed, got killing Karka babies and running OSDs for some giant experience fed straight through any XP we gained. And after another bushwhacker dropping off another Dermis, we went OSD hunting again for more car parts, failing a legendary miserably but completing another red to upgrade our racing rig once more. But realised in killing these enraged variants, Chibi XP could gain us levels too, so headed back to Club ARK to win a Chibi and straight back to learn about Hex rewards claimed randomly by any doggo kills and dug up to reward some handy traits. Nice. With Chibi XP awaiting, it was time to attend the next weekly rig race, and with our high-level doggo paying off, got us the head start we'd worked so hard on, only to learn our guest host of the event had to cancel on us, and with no one else available to help, had to accept the loss and host it ourselves. Gutted. A whole week of doggo breeding wasted. Gutted. But life goes on, and seeing that we needed that Chibi XP, we'd turn to attempt a legendary orbital supply drop once again, and by some RNG chance, or maybe a cheeky handy repair tool, we soloed 10 waves with one singular Karka, dropping more loot than we'd ever seen, and the Holy Grail, a monster of a Dreadnoughtus saddle blueprint. Just shy of the Chibi levels we could gain, ran another red OSD for enraged Rexes, and went and found every Bob Explorer note to reward another 5 levels awaiting, and hit one more legendary OSD solo to pump our player level up a tier for an even higher ranking. And seeing that we had just ran the Bob note, sat down for some popcorn in Club ARK to watch the new Tortail narrative unfold before stumbling upon a new reward on the minigame map. Mechs, Dreads, and Tech Gigas. So, after running mission after mission with a bunch of people through the night, and with Fender feeling sorry for us, having some luck himself and trading a scrap golem variant to us for a Cosmo later, the token building paid off, and we only went and won a high-level Tech Giga. Or at least we did, as a weekend of network issues caused us to lose it in the upload, and may have taken my anger out on finding an ANA member nearby our base. Sorry, Haxu. With another day dawned, the HOA continued their mischievous onslaught by locking me and my brother up in a prison to escape from, which we did, and I won a massage. But no time to redeem that yet, as we continued to breed and mutate our carcass, trait up our armour, testing its bullet-soaking abilities, and get plotting some revenge ideas with H. Seeing him being jealous of our tech, running through some artifact caves, air supporting in desert to crack chomping the flying kaiju, Kaka meat running through ice to crack chomp the frosty kaiju, and tech boost through forest to not crack chomp Groot as quickly as we'd hoped, almost losing that, resorting to Shakaka, who we waved a long heartfelt goodbye as it ascended into Ark Heaven. Shakaka. But in some desperation discovered how powerful Dreadnoughtuses truly, really were, and with some ideas cooking up, go hunting for rock elementals to tame. Not finding any, but remembering we already got given one, didn't we? So after running some more missions to fail to get another, began hunting Ceratosaurus spines to make hemogoblins for taming later. Yes, I said goblins. Farm some more hex junk with our trusty crypto and run into HOA member Antonio for some hot-footed 1v1 PvP. With Dermis piling up, Boomsmith and Meridian dropping off their collections too, and Iphaeus inviting us to a boss fight set us up to a perfect opportunity to try out our new mint chocolate raisin cake recipe, which kind of worked, and they took the bait in celebration but didn't bat an eyelid, healing right through it. Maybe they thought they were dying to the cold? So a bit of a flop there, and we turned our attention back to that monster Dreadnoughtus saddle BP, seeing we're raising a Dread army now and we're going to need a lot of mats. So the grind continues. Waking up to a new day, we discovered our entire Dermis collecting plan had been thwarted, and someone had popped along and blew our entire collection. But with no time to rage about it or maybe vent our rage, we heard H calling for help from yet again another HOA raid, so hurried over there to even the odds and push them back with a few well-aimed arrow shots until the white flag got thrown up, and held a ceasefire to discuss who the Dermis thief could have been, and with some calculated deduction left us with only a few suspects, with first on the list being the Aussie Ron Weasley himself, and sure enough, it was. So we rallied together to imprison him and ferry back to an interrogation room that got a bit weird. After owning up where he stashed them, turned out he wasn't the only one, and the hunt to find a second thief began. But stressed out, we needed to redeem our massage token and take our mind off war for a moment of tranquility. A little de-stressed and looser, we headed back out for rock elemental taming, attempting to with the dread and failing, but remembering mech taming should be as effective. But we needed more black pearls to make a decent mech, so tested farming versus gacha crystals, which gachas weren't producing very easily, and whipped out our compensating mech cannon on a rock golem's face. Whoopah. With a few golems in hand now and knowledge of how easy Serato taming is with them, went hunting with little joy but finding a 140 to die in front of us, so took a break to work on silica pearl farming for our Dread's saddle, testing Anki farming on silicate rocks in the north, which was long, and angler farming on nose, which was less than rewarding, and once again finding out gacha crystals to be the best way to farm as much as we could reward ourselves, with Fender showing up for his Cosmo and slipping us a Phoenix he'd won from Club ARK to reward us some more silica pearl farming on top. Nice! So back on the Serato hunt, and well, we did a dum-dum with our recently tamed rock elemental, so took a break to attend Lance's bar and grill party, rewarded with some beautiful singing from Toast, and celebrated with some chocolate mint raisin cake, which this time did work, but launched a bit of a revenge-filled Lance we caught like a cat in the headlights. Returned once again to the Seratos, bagging a max 150. Woohoo! Proving its speed, attack and healing ability had us convinced it could help, and well, it kind of didn't, as almost lost both that and our car in an OSD test, so left that to heal to use our new cannon wielding mech to tame our first Titan.
No!
What the? What?
Run! It's got 100 left.
Yeah, this is it.
Hey.
Sorry, I hit once.
Turned out others were planning to tame it too as they prepared to face the King Titan, so we bounded across the wasteland on our new icy steed and helped to tame old Treebeard to Ant march up and face Extinction's Gamma End Guardian.
I'm like Donkey Kong.
For
Mordor!
49 minutes remain.
It's begun. Full party.
Get them, boys!
Yeah, Bruce slinging bastard.
Oh, I've got a siege cannon malfunction. Can't shoot the cannon.
Oh my gosh, hi. Okay.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Try not to go too fast so
Oh,
I
it's
can
coming
get
in with
back
the big
in.
one. This is it.
Flying again.
Get busy, get
Yeah,
busy.
guys.
Quick before that AoE.
He's trying to get in.
Come on.
Quick. What
Hit
the hell?
him.
He's going Super Saiyan. Where's
He's flying.
he's levitating. Holy crap.
He's
Take him down, quick.
Get him. Go.
Got
Got him. No.
Oh my god.
He's flying.
Come on, surely. Where's the life?
Hey.
One ascension down of 3 and a new lease of confidence, we attempted to take on the wandering giants in battle rigs, which ended exactly as you'd expect. But in fulfilling our strip club attendance, striked a new deal with Mean Ren for all of the silica pearls we'd ever need in return for something I don't think anyone would have had on their 100 days bingo cards. With metal farms in the bucket load and gifted by Camway to top us off, left us with a few well-aimed chainsawed sheep to reward all the hide needed, and finally some crazy high dread saddles made. And with this week's race mission being the best build and some serious builders in this competition, not even our maroon boat stood a chance, but still managed to see us push the pedal to the metal and claim 3rd place, bagging one more unique trophy. But before we could celebrate that, it was straight onto our own hosted King Titan fight, felling it with ease and decorating our tribe tower further, leaving the rest of the day to go on a Shay and Ninja hosted root taming event, paired up with the very calm Captain McRummy, attempting to tame some of the hardest tames on the map in the most unconventional ways, including, yes, a fascinating knockout sacrifice Trudon tame. Not bagging 1st place, we managed to haggle borrowing the monster compound bow blueprint available to go farm Titanoboas to farm Venom and set our dread army against the beta King Titan, and well, this happened.
Come on, pepper him.
I really hope I do not.
Oh, there we go.
load in.
Nice.
Got him. Nice.
Okay. So I died.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Starting to look a bit ropey on
now
the
I gotta
dreads
stop
here.
and take a poop.
Oh, no.
Ooh, okay, we're down
We
to
got another node.
getting down now. Looking good. Looking good.
Up there.
Oh no!
Oh,
I crashed. Oh, I crashed.
Oh, dude. Oh no.
no.
Oh, the conker.
I'm
And he is down.
Yes.
Oh, dang it.
Nice.
GG.
Excellent work.
Wow.
Okay.
And so the grind towards the hardest version of one of ARK's supposed hardest guardians began, kicking off with helping Slim and M to beat Beta himself, and discovering killing tamed titans rewards the same loot as killing wilds. Handy to know, bagging that trophy and waiting 6 hours to kill all 3 titans once again to prepare our alpha summoning trophies. With an alarming amount of hearts needed to summon the final form, went legendary OSD farming with Solo and finished the day off with a wedding ceremony. I think they blame me, but honestly I've no idea. But it's Alpha Titan Day, eh? And as we worked through taming each Titan, first up, the Iceman going absolutely terrible with it, constantly refilling its health and a less than exciting Gamma variant tames. Then the big walking tree, strangely rewarding Beta despite feeling deserving of Alpha. And then the flying Scratsman that we tamed with the gas bags. I kid you not. Leaving the armies to rally together, bygones to be forgotten for a moment as we circled the King's final form with an army, overwhelmed by our mechs combining into one giant mega mech to put the demon kaiju to shame, slaughtered in just a few swings, supported by fire by commandeered mechs from all angles, and seriously, this was way easier than we thought. So, with 5 extra levels and thirst for more competition, took to taking on 100 legendary orbital supply drop waves, rewarding so much loot people gave up before the loot finished popping out. After a daring attempt thinking we were safe flying away from King Titan, we weren't, Sukhan and the ANA inviting us to tell us where they had hid all of their robbed spyglasses, only to find them in a rat hole with a Giga, so yeah, abandoned that to go back to base, only for one of them to turn up to tell us they had found our missing dermises and, you know, naturally, thinking it was one of them, shot them in cold blood. But with all dermises collected, Songbird had prepared a new, much more fittingly creative area to display anyone and everyone from all alliances. Finally, put every name to every face. Well, almost every face. Turns out some aliens weren't too happy with my Spooder Ras alter ego and abducted me for some probing. But renewed and sore from a very strange night, Dave finally admitted to the lag earlier in the season, caused by his dirty gacha gavagers, and invited us to come destroy them. So we did.
I'm the Karka. I'm on it. I'm on it. Stay down, Karka's dead. Come to it. He's trying to TP away. Probably not a good idea to be here, is it? Oh! I saw that. Maximum. They're going to tank well. Hopefully that's up well. Well, they're tanking for one's tanking for 36 shot. Oh, the turrets don't seem to be. Yeah, turrets down. Turrets are down. Go. Get in there. Get involved. Get busy. Oh my god.
And with one last race left, of which a head start was on mutations, which we missed out on by late posting, we upgraded our rig to its final replicator housing glory to blow up, barely off the starting line, and announce the final winner with the most trophies and artifacts of the season was Slim and M. Congratulations, not salty at all, who got rewarded a mystery vault, whilst the rest of us decided to settle our alliance differences once and for all with a good old-fashioned dino fight. But little did we know, Slim and M's reward was an infinite pool of tamed titans sabotaging our battle, wiping everyone out and looking towards all of our bases as we'd watch on piece by piece our pride and joy wiped out to return Extinction to the fresh day one it looked once upon a time, and our Monarchy Thunderdome tale ending here. I hope you've enjoyed this story. If you have, please do comment below, hit that like button, subscribe and all that jazz, because, you know, I'll do another one if you do. So until the next one, my name is Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.